Hello guys, Ben Artioka Argolan here. Did you know that Germany was previously divided into two countries, which were divided by a wall that stretched for about 155 kilometers? And when the wall was torn down, other residents cheered because they had gained their freedom. This is the story of the fall of the Berlin Wall and the impact that was caused after the incident. The beginning of this incident was the construction of the Berlin Wall on August 13, 1961. The purpose of building this wall was to prevent East German citizens from escaping to West Germany. In the end, this wall collapsed on November 9, 1989, which was caused by an announcement that was misinterpreted by one of the East German governments and made a crowd of citizens gather in front of the wall and finally tore it down together and finally reunited Germany. So, the initial trigger for the fall of the Berlin Wall was a demonstration carried out by East German citizens against the government at that time, namely the Alexanderplatz demonstration on November 4, 1989. This demonstration demanded that the East German government make political change and provide freedom for East German citizens. This demonstration made the East German government pressured, and at its peak on November 9, 1989, one of the East German governments, namely Gunther Schabowski, accidentally announced that the Berlin Wall would be opened. So at that time, Gunther Schabowski was attending a press conference at one of the offices in East Germany to announce change in regulation regarding new roads. After the press conference, one of the television journalists from NBC, Tom Brokaw, asked Gunther Schabowski, "Is it true that now East German citizens do not need to go to a third country to travel?" Then he answered, "Now German citizens no longer need to transit to a third country to leave the GDR, or German Democratic Republic, and can cross the border." After the announcement, East German citizens flocked to and gathered in front of the wall and urged that the wall be opened quickly. In the end, one of the border guards, Harald Jäger, opened the wall and was followed by German citizens who helped to tear down the wall using hammers and chisels, which was the beginning of the reunification of Germany. After the fall of the Berlin Wall, German citizens regained their freedom and were able to reunite with family, friends, and other relatives who had been separated for so long. Furthermore, the fall of the Berlin Wall marked the beginning of the end of the Cold War and communism in Eastern Europe. Although the Berlin Wall fell on November 9, 1989, the culmination of German reunification occurred approximately 1 year later, on October 3, 1990. After Germany was reunited, countries around Germany, such as Poland, Czechoslovakia, and Romania, did the same thing, which weakened the communist regimes in Eastern Europe. And after the satellite countries of the Soviet Union heard about the events that occurred in Eastern Europe, one by one these countries declared their independence and separated from the Soviet Union. Finally, the Soviet Union, which was already economically weak and lacked political support, decided to dissolve itself on December 26, 1991, right after Mikhail Gorbachev resigned as the president of the Soviet Union on December 25, 1991. After looking back at the incident, I learned one important thing. I learned that every big change can happen because of a small mistake. This incident teaches us that everything we do, whether small or big, will definitely have an impact that we can feel, and we will not know whether it will have a big impact or small.